Now that all the students are in your unpaid student column, you're ready to purchase membership. To do so, you'll be able to select the Select All button to select everyone, or to select a few students at a time to transition just them. With selected unpaid students, you can click on the Transition to Member button, which will move them from the unpaid student column to the active member column. When you click this button, a pop-up prompt will show, allowing you to select from View the Quote or Generate the Invoice. If your school system in the past has completed invoices through a purchase order, you'll need a quote first to start the purchase order process. So you will change the option to be View the Quote. If you do not pay in the past using purchase orders, you'll be able to leave the option selected as Generate the Invoice and submit this dialog. I'm going to show you the quote version first so that you can see the full end-to-end capabilities. So we'll click View the Quote and then click Submit. Now a quote has been created. You're able to see the quote information at the top. You'll see members transitioning from unpaid student to active member in the middle with all the student names attached. You'll also see a second row if your state has any state fees showing right on the quote. At this point, you will be able to print this quote to physical paper or to PDF, or you can click Share Quote, which will generate a unique link that you can send to your financial department. Any of these three ways, you can send the quote out and they will be able to start the process to create your purchase order. Once your purchase order arrives, you can return to FBLA Connect, so you'll land on the home screen, and then you'll see your pending invoice here in this orange area. You'll click on that pending invoice and you'll be able to view your quote and click on Convert to Invoice. So at the bottom here you can see you may submit a purchase order on the next screen. So you'll click on Convert to Invoice and it will convert that quote into an invoice instantly with all of your payment options available at the bottom. At the beginning of this, you may have, instead of selecting View the Quote, hit Generate the Invoice. If you did that, you would land on this screen immediately without having to go through the quote step. So you only need to go through the quote step if your financial department needs a quote to generate a purchase order. So if you do have that purchase order in hand, you will be able to scan it or use that attachment to upload that file into the system, and it will convert your invoice into a pending state. And so it'll, as soon as you upload the purchase order, it will go from not paid to pending. When the invoice is in the pending state, all members on the invoice will have immediate full membership benefits granted to their accounts. So this means they will be able to log into FBLA Connect and access the FBLA programs as well as the community area. And through our integration with Blue Panda, they will be immediately eligible for competition registration through that integration. This is for a 60-day grace period. Your invoice can remain pending for 60 days. After the 60-day grace period, if it's not fulfilled, if the payment hasn't fulfilled the purchase order, then the invoice will revert backwards from pending to not paid, and the members will revert backwards from active member to unpaid student. There will be many email reminders sent along the timeline to the 60 days, so you will have ample notification if the purchase order hasn't been yet fulfilled. As soon as the purchase order is fulfilled, the invoice will turn green to fully paid, and your members will remain as active members for the rest of the academic year. At the beginning of every academic year, August 1st, all members will be returned back to unpaid student so that you have the opportunity to purchase the next year's membership for them. If you do not use purchase orders, your chapter does not use purchase orders, you have two other options to fulfill payment. The first one is to submit a paper check. Checks payable to FBLA, remittance address is the address listed here. So once you have submitted the check, then you can click the button at the bottom of the invoice. This will allow you to transition this invoice from not paid to pending, which again will immediately bestow membership benefits and make them competition eligible within the Blue Panda system. The other option is the Pay Now button on the right hand side, where you'll be able to submit payment using debit card, credit card, or bank transfer e-check. So if you click on Pay Now, it'll take you to the checkout screen where you can enter that credit card information or your ACH bank account information to do an e-check. You'll collect either option, submit your payment information, and then complete that checkout. If you do opt for the Pay Now version, your invoice will transition from not paid straight through pending to fully paid using the online payment options of credit card, debit card, or ACH transfer. ACH may take 3 business days, and if it's your first time using the ACH e-check method, you may be required to verify your bank account. You will receive an email from our payment processor, which is called WePay, and they will give you instructions on how to verify your bank account. And if you choose to save your bank account to your account, your FBLA Connect account, then you won't have to go through this process again. But it's a simple process to verify your bank account so that you can enable ACH now and into the future. During those 3 business days where ACH is processing, the invoice will be in a pending state, which will mean, again, those members will be immediately bestowed membership benefits for that 60-day grace period. And then after the 3 business days of ACH processing, then they will move to fully active member for the rest of the academic year. So those are the 3 methods of payment: paper check, purchase order, or through the online payment system, which includes credit card, debit card, and ACH bank transfer. Once that invoice is paid, you're all set. If you do have students that join after your initial payment, you can repeat this process an unlimited number of times each academic year. You will simply add more students to the system and again check out by transitioning them from the unpaid column to the full member status column. And so you can do that over and over again to create multiple invoices. There is not a way to merge invoices, so once you've created the invoices, they will be unique. And you can see here the 3 students that we have in process have been grayed out and have the green $ arrow, signifying that upon payment, they will be fully moved to the member column. So as soon as we submit payment and that invoice moves to pending, they will move.